Hello, today I will teach you how to make 4 different types of sushi rolls. So today I decided to use this rice since it was located in my local grocery store. Anytime you make a sushi rice recipe, it requires equal parts of rice and equal parts of water. Therefore, I used 3 cups of rice and 3 cups of water. Next, you must rinse your rice. It's important to rinse the rice because it removes any excess starch. So therefore, I rinsed it about 3 times and then 5 minutes it takes. And as you can see, this is the first time I rinsed my rice and the water is a little bit of cloudy, murky. And as you go along washing it, you will notice how clear the water gets every single time. This is now my second wash. I move around the rice due to the fact that I had a small strainer and I wanted to make sure that every single grain of rice was getting the water it needed. This is now my third wash, and as you can tell from the water behind, the water is a lot clearer compared to when we first started, when it was much more murky. After the third wash, we must let the rice drain for 10 minutes in order to bring out more sweetness and flavor. I then placed my rice in a pot, making sure I measured out 3 cups of water. Then I placed my rice over the stove, making sure it was on high heat so that I can bring it to a soft boil. Once it reaches a soft boil, you must reduce the flame to medium heat for about 5 minutes, making sure you cover the pot tightly. You can use a rag to do this. So we reduce it to a much lower flame, where you can barely see it. While rice is cooking, we must start our rice seasoning. This recipe called for 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and since I didn't have rice vinegar, I decided to use apple cider vinegar instead, and I used 1/4 a cup of it. Then I stirred until it dissolved. When 15 minutes is over, we turn off the fire, and here's our sushi rice, and let it stand for 10 minutes. Although it is tradition to turn the rice into a wooden bowl, I didn't have that, so instead I just used this plastic bowl, and as you can see, the rice is sticky. So it was too much rice to fit into one bowl, so I decided to make it into 2 different bowls, and I made sure I separated the rice seasoning into 2 separate parts evenly, and I started to make a chop motion, and then I cooled it down with a fan motion to give it a glossy look. This is the second bowl. I did the same thing I did as the first bowl, in which I made a chopping motion, then a fan motion. Although it was a little bit difficult, I tried my best due to the fact that the bowl was shallow towards the bottom of it. So here I am trying to attempt a fan motion. However, I did not succeed as much as I wanted to. It was difficult due to the equipment I had. However, all I can say is try your best. I tried attempting the same thing to the other bowl, but wasn't really working out for me. So I just had to let the rice cool. I then combined the rice into one bowl and I covered it with a damp cloth. Make sure to eat the rice the same day and not to be refrigerated. Once my rice was done, I decided to start my prep for all my sushi rolls. I peeled a cucumber and decided to julienne it since it's a better fit inside the sushi roll, making sure to cut off the ends. I did in fact decide to keep the seeds since I have no issue eating the seeds. These are my asparagus. I had blanched them and peeled them beforehand, making sure to cut off the ends and the top halves of the asparagus. The asparagus were too big to fit inside the sushi roll, so I decided to cut them in half, lengthwise. I peeled and julienne my carrots. Make sure to cut off both ends of the carrot. I julienne my scallions. Make sure to cut off both ends so that you can get a better precise cut. Next, I julienne my red pepper. Make sure to remove the seeds. I then cut in half and peeled my avocado, making sure I cut the avocado into strips. Once you're done with all your prep, we can begin our sushi rolls.